Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Today's Sunday. Welcome to Eric's Tech Pub. Hope you're all having a great, wonderful, somewhat good Sunday. As you can see, I just got here, so I am running a few minutes behind. I'm trying to get my wires and everything straightened out because they are just all tangled up, and I can't get around my microphone, and I can't get around one of my lights to get to that thing in the back, so I don't know. This is just one big mess. Then I'm glad you people are not here to live with it, because it is quite daunting to do this every day and keep wires where they're supposed to be without them falling behind the desk. I forgot to shut one off. There. And then I'm trying to organize things, which is what I do every Sunday. On Sundays, it's my day that I get ready for the rest of the week, Monday through Friday. And I'm just sitting here trying to get everything organized, straightened out, and clean up a little bit. But the organization and the problem child of wires is just, I don't know. And I've always said it, and I'll say it again. If you guys were to look at this, you would laugh. It's like, how can you live with that godforsaken mess? Like, I've gotten used to it. Most people that sit here they don't know what to do, and they get up and walk away. I don't know. I suffer through it. I get through it eventually. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ski Man. No Darren here today, although I suppose I chased him away when I told him to stop putting the overabundance in chat, where he just kept doing whatever he was doing. I didn't mean to chase him away. I hope he comes back, but you just need to say hi once, maybe once or twice, and that's good enough. I hope he comes back someday. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. Somebody else will eventually feel his shoes. Yeah, I'm not finding what I'm looking for again. So, Sam is a genius. Yeah, he's pretty smart in the things he does. I couldn't do a third of the things he does in his life. I would not be able to figure it out. So what can you... I didn't catch all of that video. As you know, I caught the end of it. Now you having problems with OBS, or are you still having the same problems you were having, or are these all new problems? I didn't catch all of that. I'll have to go back and watch that later today, but... Oh, mail. I don't even have a good place to put that except back down here. Hello, Jeff. I'm just sitting here trying to get paperwork and things organized for the next week, so I don't get flooded with everything that's going to be coming in tomorrow and me not knowing what to do or what to say. So I'm trying to get organized today. Trying to get things written down, trying to get notes taken, trying to get things somewhat organized so I don't walk into tomorrow and get completely lost. Which means I need a little bit more organization is what I need to do. And I'm not good at organizing. I kind of do put things where they're supposed to be, but they're not exactly where they're supposed to be. But then, of course, what I do is I end up going to look for them where they're supposed to be, and they're not there. And then I'll search everywhere else but besides where I put those papers. And then 5 hours later, I look in the drawers like, oh yeah, they're right there. Not organized at all. Then I got all these Medicare stuff I gotta figure out. Health insurance, I gotta do some paperwork for health insurance. More paperwork for Mille Lacs because they sent it to me. More registration stuff is what this is. So yeah, I'm kind of not really behind. It's just things got... I don't know, there's more to do this week with paperwork than there usually is. And I was being lazy, and I didn't get to it all this week, and now it's sitting here on my desk piling up. I didn't need to seriously get it done before tomorrow. Which means, yes, I am running out of time. And I really would like to get some of it done, and I don't know, I think some of it's going to have to stretch into tomorrow morning, which means I'll have to get up a little bit early, get a little bit more of the paperwork done, and then start sending off the paperwork to where it needs to go. Darren, yeah, hey Darren. Hoping you'd come in. So I don't get anything in Microsoft today. I'm kind of taking a break from that. It's Sunday. I really don't feel like working today. I really don't got much to say today. It's just kind of one of those days where I'm just kind of catching up on things. Before the live stream started, I was in listening to music. I was listening to A Flock of Seagulls, I Ran So Far Away, Robert Plant, In the Mood, Bob Seger, Understanding and Shame on the Moon, Fleetwood Mac, Seven Wonders, Stevie Nicks. It's just what I started on listening to, and after this, I'll probably go back to listening to more music for a while. Irritate my neighbors on a Sunday. Make them be aware that I'm still here. Just because I rattle their walls. And with no office staff here, there's really no one to stop me. I'm sure someone could call the cops, but they won't do that. They know better. So I told them if they don't want to have serious problems with me, they leave them out of it. I live my life the way I want to live it, and that's what I do on Sundays. Is I kind of just turn the music just up a little bit, just a little. Not bad. I mean, it's not. It's the bass I need to turn down, but I have such an addiction for bass that I just kind of keep it half cranked up, and the floor is bumping pretty good, and the walls got a pretty good thump to it. So I know the people upstairs are hearing it, but they have yet to come down here and complain. And I don't think they will. There's people in this building that do things that are 1,000 times worse than what I do, so they really don't need to worry about what I'm doing. So I'm still getting requests or getting questions on the start menu. And for those people that are listening and not part of the homies group or anybody else here on chat that's listening but not chatting, you people have asked me this question before about that start menu. And like I said last week, it'll show up when it shows up. It's on a slow release. I said last week that Microsoft has learned their lesson about throwing those new features out to everybody at once, because every time they did that, they either had to stop the update or roll the update back, which means they took it back because they screwed it up so badly. And I haven't seen them do that for a while, so it kind of tells me that they're trying new avenues and trying new ways of doing things so that they don't have the problems that they were having. That does mean that that new update for your start menu and a couple other things that we're supposed to be getting will be coming to us gradually, not all at once. So I just ask that you guys have patience, and Microsoft will give it to you when they give it to you. And that's about all I can say, is just have patience. It will get to your computer eventually. At some point in the next week or two, it'll show up. And until then, just sit back and relax and wait. Don't worry about it. If you sit there and worry about it day in and day out, you're going to give yourself a heart attack because you're getting nervous about what Microsoft is going to do. So, don't worry about it. I'll keep you in the loop. If something shows up where they're starting to have problems, I'll let you know. Because I'll get told about it, and when I get told about it, I'll let you guys know. But so far, I haven't heard anything too far out of whack. Sounds like things are going the way they're supposed to be. For now, until they screw it up again, which there's always a probable chance of them doing that. And it's not really that they want to keep screwing up, it's just coding is hard to work with. That's not an easy thing to do. And when you've got as many lines of code as they go through, and having to find one single problem for 20,000 lines of code, that's awfully difficult to deal with. But they know how to do it quickly. They know how to find it. And I'm sure with coding, they're told where the error in the code is, so it brings them right back to where the error is, or wherever it's having problems, and then just go from there and they straighten it out. I mean, I would not want their job. I'll tell you that. I would not want their job. I'd rather have mine compared to what they're doing. What they're doing is just mind bending. There's things I wouldn't be able to ever understand what they're doing. But that's how they keep Microsoft. That's how they keep Windows running. It's going through lines of code, and I do mean lines of code. I mean, they're looking at screens that are probably 10 times as tall as they are. They look at the top, all the way up there, and they look at the long line of code. And it'll be in red or blue or wherever the error code is. And it'll sit there. It'll say, here's where your problem is. They go back to that spot and they fix it. And I've seen their lines of code, and it's massive. It's huge. I would not want to. I'd have a headache after just staring at it for 5 minutes. Like, how do you guys even begin to understand that? I don't know how they do it, but they do. And they do it fairly well. It's just they just keep screwing up. And that's not it's not an insult to Microsoft, but they keep screwing up because they know they do. So I'm not really telling them anything they don't know. Is they make mistakes. They think something's going to work the way they want it to, and something fights back at them saying, no, I don't want to work that way. And yeah, I would not want their job. I really wouldn't. Mine can be tough enough, but dealing with what they deal with on a daily basis, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, I would not want to do that. That's, no. It's just not something I would want to do. Oh. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on that yet, Ski Man. Well, there's plenty of people out there that are talking about these updates we're supposed to be getting, but what I'm hearing is they're going to be getting the updated at some point. But I mean, there's people on YouTube you can go and follow and watch their videos, but maybe you'll get more information out of them than me, because I only give you a little bit of what they're saying. They'll give you the full story. If I already give you the full story, I wouldn't be able to say it as quick as they do, so we'd be sitting here for 3 hours, and you guys would really get tired of me. So if you guys want to go on YouTube and get that information yourself, you're more than welcome to. You might even get better information than what I'm giving you. I'm just giving you little bits and pieces of what I've heard. What I've heard and what's actually going on could be two separate different things. But I'm pretty close. But not close enough, really. I just give you the little its and bits of what I know. But what that's all of it, of what's going on, not really. Oh, I need a bigger desk. Really, I'm running out of room already. So, see, Carrie's got a show going on. I don't know. I'll try to catch him a little bit, probably here at about 25 after. See if he's talking about anything interesting, and if he isn't, I leave. If it's something that I really want to dig my heels into, then I'll sit there and listen to it, but lately he's been kind of hit and miss. Some things I want to sit there and listen to, and others like, nah, I could do without it, and I'll go watch somebody else. Which means I end up going back to Zoom and watching those guys. Which a lot of time the guys on Zoom, and this is no insult to you guys, you know this, they can be awfully quiet in there. And I don't like silence. That's just one thing that just eerily bugs me. You got a room full of people and nobody's talking. Oh, that just gets to my head. Like, come on, guys, someone say something. And I don't like I don't like to be the one talking in a crowd. That just, people don't like that. But the dead silence, oh my God, it just drives me up the Peruvian wall, as Ken says. And I'll tell you why. It's part of a birth defect, I think, that if I'm in dead silence, I hear this loud ringing inside my head. And unless I'm listening to people talking or music or a TV or fans going or some kind of sound that I can listen to, all I hear is that ringing in my head. And it just, when people talk or I hear something like a fan or something running, that ringing in my ears or in my head cancels itself, so I don't hear it. But the minute it's just dead silence, that ringing in my head comes back, and that's all I'm listening to, and it just, oh my God, it drives me nuts. They never have been able to fix that. They said they can't. That's something with your brain doing that. They said that they can't fix. The same as the saying that goes, you can't fix stupid, you can't fix my brain problem. You say, no, we can't fix that. That's something you're going to have to live with. Nah. I don't like living with it. It bugs me. But that's why I like noise. I like to listen to something. No, and I got my old GoPro here, which I need to really start using one of these days, even though it's a lot slower than my GoPro 12. And thanks to Tony, the reason I got that. Really, I need to start using this one again. Use this one for indoor stuff and use the GoPro 12 for like the bike rides and everything. Which I haven't done yet because after 5 or 6 months, I still have to fix my brakes. And I just haven't done it yet. Because I fix them, it's going to start doing the same problem all over again. And that's what the bike shop said with those kind of brakes and brake pads. They stay clean for a while, but then they start screeching again, and there's really, you'd have to constantly clean them every day. And I don't have time to clean them every day. I've got to get on the bike and go. It's like, yeah, well, you need to wash down your brakes with that brake cleaner stuff. It's like, I ain't got time for that. I also don't have time for it to bring it into him, because he's told me just bring it into us. We'll look at it. They said, yeah, you guys will keep it for 2 weeks. Well, not really. We're in the winter time, so they've got a little bit more time, but not enough time for me. I've got more bike riding that I need to do than I have time for that to be sitting in the bike shop getting the brakes fixed again. Which what I'll do is just I'll end up ordering new brake pads or going over to the bike shop and getting new brake pads. See if those work, but I don't know. Maybe I can try a different set of brake pads, different brand or something. Because these only work for so long and then they start squawking again. And the people in the building here hate it. Because I can tell going into the parking lot, you're going down a hill, a slight downhill grade, and I have to hold on to the brake a little bit, and all it does is squeak all the way down to the... They don't like hearing that. Someone opened their window the other day and just said, Rick, let go of your brakes. So I let go of the brakes and I just coasted into where I was going, but I came in a little bit too quick. But they don't like hearing that screeching noise. And I don't blame them. It is very irritating to listen to it. Missouri. Arizona Butterfly Kisses. Hello. I like that name, Arizona Butterfly Kisses. You're from Missouri. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the channel of Rick's Tech Pub. I normally talk about everything tech related, computers, laptops, tablets. But I don't know. Being that there's certain people on here that don't like me talking about tech, then I'm kind of drifting away from it a little bit, but I still talk about it every once in a while. Just not as much. I don't like irritating people if they don't like me talking about something, so I try to be fair and equal to everybody. I'm not trying to please everybody, because I still talk about tech, and that one guy hasn't come back here since I've been talking about computer stuff, because he doesn't understand it as much or as easy, so, and that's fine. But well, it is quite the name, Arizona Butterfly Kisses. I like that. It's unique. It's different. I gotta go through chat here again. I have a Sony 1000 watt receiver, 2 tower speaker, 15-inch subwoofers out of my garage. Would love to have it as part of my surround audio system. Yeah, that would be nice. I had something like that many, many years ago before I ever lived here. Like 25 years ago, 30 years ago, I used to have a system like that. Then I got greedy and I needed money, so I sold it. I only had it for like 2 years, and I don't know, people kept telling me to keep the music down. It's hard to do with those stereo systems because they sound so good. You just keep wanting to turn it up, and pretty soon you're getting a knock on the door. Like, Rick, you need to turn it down. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Noise ordinance goes 24/7. Like, oh, okay. Well, about a week later after that, I sold it. Because that kind of a stereo, you really need to be out in the country where you have no neighbors. And I had neighbors. They didn't like me turning it up that loud. So I knew I couldn't control myself, so I ended up selling it. But I had tower speakers that are about almost the size of how tall I was. They were really wide. Yeah, you turn those up a little bit too loud, and yeah, your next door neighbors will be complaining. The people that live in the house next to you, you'll be rattling their dishes in their cupboards. That's the kind of stereo I had, and I knew I was going to get myself in trouble with it after about 2 years, so I sold it. Didn't get quite as much as what I paid for it, but I did get something out of it. Moving to Arizona in 2026, so what a fitting YouTube channel. Yeah, you're moving to Arizona next year. Is there a specific reason you're moving to Arizona in that hot state in the summertime? It's a state I wouldn't ever want to be in the summertime. I would not move to Arizona. I wouldn't be able to stand their heat waves. My system hits hard, but I do need to rebuild the mid-range speakers. Yeah, with my computer in the bedroom, if I turn with my Klipsch system that I've got, it's the one that Carrie reviewed many, many years ago. And then 2 days later, I went to Costco and I bought it. It's the Klipsch, it's 100 watts. It'll bounce these floors pretty hard if I wanted to. But if I do it that hard, the guy next downstairs, or the people from upstairs, they come downstairs and they say, Rick, turn it down. You're rattling the dishes in my sink. That's the point of it. Then he takes out his phone and says, no, never mind. I'll turn it down. Because I don't want him calling the cops. I don't need a noise violation on my record. And I've come that close to getting one. So I've had the cops here before because of my music. I really didn't care that day. I said, well, everybody pissed me off. Now I'm going to piss them off. And I just cranked it to about 90. And people on the 11th floor were hearing something. A whole bunch of people called the police station. And they narrowed it down to who it was. It was me. And they told me they don't want to come back and talk to me about it again. Next time they won't be so nice. So yeah, I am pushing my luck a little bit, but not as bad as I did 3 years ago. That went a little bit too far. But I did it on purpose because I didn't really give a flying. So I just turned the bass all the way up. People on the 11th floor were calling the police. There's someone downstairs that's playing their music way too loud. I hear his bass way up here. And the police said it won't take us long if they're that loud. It won't take us long to figure out who it is. They kind of had a feeling who it was. That's why they came up to 8th floor and said, yep, it's him. I had pretty much turned it down because in these small apartments, the sound ricochets off the walls and it goes back into your ears and ouch. So you can't have it that loud for two. So I was on it for maybe 5-6 minutes and I turned it down, and about a minute later it's just boom, boom, boom. 3 cops were at my door and like, oh shit. I knew who it was when they pounded that hard. So yeah, I know, it's Brainerd's finest. Sure enough, 3 cops standing at my door, telling me if they had to come back and tell me again, they weren't going to be so nice about it. Okay. So I turned it down. Love it there. 3 times first vacation I was sold. You love heat. Okay, well, you like heat? Well, then Arizona's the right place for you. I've been to Arizona once, and that was before the pandemic started. I was there in 2019 looking at my plane ticket that I found. So I was just there before the pandemic started. So I came back, and about a month later, they started talking about the pandemic. But I was there in February of 2019. It was still 60 degrees down there, 67 degrees. It was very nice down there. But I knew up here in Minnesota, where I live, it was barely hanging on to above zero. I was checking the weather here at home when I was in Arizona. It was like 3 above, 15 above the next day, but windy. You know, it was funny. The day I got back, I went from no snow, nice and warm, to about 32 degrees and 14 inches of snow. Because one of the guys that I was chatting with when I was in Arizona told me, he says, well, you're going to have fun coming back to Minnesota. We're getting 14 inches of snow in the next couple of days. It's like, lovely. Phoenix usually is 2 to 3 degrees hotter. Oh. It's just... Yeah, they do have heat down there. I know Carrie complains about it every time in the summer. 100, and he is like, what, I don't know how long he said, but he said it's like 2 months of over 100 degrees. I wouldn't be able to take that. Because I'm a bicycle, so I like getting on my mountain bike and doing 20 miles. I'm not doing 20 miles when it's 110 degrees. No, thank you. So I'm up here in Minnesota. We got the winter. But I like all 4 seasons. I guess that's the difference between living in Arizona and living here in Minnesota is we have all 4 seasons. Spring, summer, winter, or spring, summer, fall, and winter. I probably even said that backwards. My favorite times of year is late fall or early fall and spring going into summer. Because midsummer, even for Minnesota when it's 93 degrees and humid, I won't go outside. It's just too much for my lungs to handle. At least nowadays, when I was a kid, I'd spend all day out in that kind of heat and it wouldn't bother me. I do that today. Like, yeah, let's not do this today. It's too hot. So I go back in and wait for it to cool off, which is usually at night. I get a lot of stuff done at night. But then the problem we have is up here is in the wintertime. Oh, it's 2:32 already. Okay, I'll get it going here. In the wintertime, it can be not so fun when you're looking at 50 below, 60 below with wind chills. I used to go out and smoke cigarettes in that kind of weather. We didn't care. You know, it's 50 below at 12:30 at night. I'd grab a cigarette, go outside and have a cigarette. Why? I don't know. It's just me being brain dead. But I wasn't the only one. There was another guy over in the other end of the smoking area that he was smoking a cigarette and he said, "You know, we're stupid for being out here." It's like, yeah, it's stupid. It's like 50 something below with wind chills. And we're out there smoking cigarettes like dumb. But I've since quit. And that was part of the reason I quit, because I knew I'd have to go outside in the winter. And no, that's not for me. Oh, I gave it up. Colonel Lennon didn't tax. Nicotine's a hell of a drug. Yeah, it is. Very addictive. I don't know if I ever got addicted to it because I was able to easily drop it and not go back to it. Same thing with Mountain Dew and Pepsi. I just walked away from it and never went back. I don't really miss it anymore nowadays. But yeah, good old nicotine. Saves a lot on the pocketbook when you're not buying crap like that. I didn't realize. Well, I did realize, and that's the other reason why. There's a bunch of reasons why I quit smoking. Mainly, it's because of the price. Because I told the guys at Holiday, the minute my cheap cigarettes go over get up close to $10, like $9.97 or something, $9.96 is what they were, and I said, all right, that's it, I'm done. That's close enough to $10 to me, and I quit. I'm not paying $10 for a pack of cigarettes. That's just effing stupid. And after that, I quit. And Dan at Holiday, who I'm really good friends with, he's the manager at Holiday. He was just waiting for me to tell him that I was going to quit, because he knew the price of cigarettes were going to go up, and he was just wondering how long I was going to keep paying that high price. I wasn't going to for long. When I got the $9.97, I said, all right, that's it, I'm done. Never went back to buy a pack of cigarettes. But anyhow, guys, it is 2:30. What time is it? 2:35. I don't really got anything else to say. I quit smoking a pipe in 1991, but when I think about it, I still. That's funny, because I don't really. I really don't have cravings for cigarettes anymore. What really bugs me is cigarette smoke nowadays. I walk past somebody that's just smoking, like, ugh. I used to smell like that. Ugh. Why? Oh, those nasty habits we pick up and then have to have other people deal with it. Oh, unfiltered. That makes me cough thinking about it. How could you smoke that thing, Jeff? Didn't your face turn blue? Ugh. Ugh. Oh my God, unfiltered. That makes me sick thinking about it. I don't see how you guys can do that. I can't smoke an unfiltered cigarette. Or back when I was, I couldn't do unfiltered. I just couldn't, and it had to be filtered. I tried non-filtered cigarettes, and I just no, thank you. No soda in almost 9.5 years. Well, I've almost. See, it was July of this year. July 2nd of this year is when I quit drinking Mountain Dew and Pepsi. It hasn't been a year for me yet, but I'll have my year of no soda in July 2nd of next year. I smoked cigarettes 2 to 3 years. I smoked Pall Malls and Lucky Strikes. Yeah, I could never do the unfiltered. I've tried it a few times. No. Keep getting that tobacco in my mind. No, thank you. I mean, I would if I had to. If that's all, if I didn't have anything and someone had a cigarette, then I just take the end of the tobacco out of the end of the cigarette and I just twist the end of it so I don't get the tobacco in my mouth. It's just. And even then, I was saying, God, all this just to have a cigarette. And I was thinking, why? Why am I doing this? Well, it finally caught up to me, and eventually I quit. Common sense finally caught up to me after 36 years. Finally caught up to me, and I said, I think I better quit. And for health reasons, too. When I'm biking as much as I do, the last thing I really need to be doing is smoking cigarettes. Yeah, we have a guy here that chews. Robert Trombley. He'll just sit there and put it in his lip and just sit there, and then after a while, he'll do this and he'll swallow the shit. And like, oh, Bob, how do you do that? Well, you didn't see me spit it out, did you? Like, no, but you. Ugh. God. Oh. Ugh. That guy has some very nasty habits. That's one of them. He swallows his chew. Like, oh. No, thank you. Then he looks at me and says, you want some? No. You keep that to yourself. But the bad thing about him is I can imagine what his gums look like. They're probably just all chewed up, and it's one thing I never got into is chew. Never have. I've seen other people do it, and I think, no, I don't think so. It's a good way to get something screwed up with your gums. Yeah, I could never stand a chew either. I never have. I never will. And okay, guys, it's 2:40. It's been fun talking to you guys. I'm gonna go through all the names here of Jeff, Ski Man, Ken, Arizona Butterfly Kisses. Arizona Butterfly Kisses, I hope you come back. I do enjoy you being here. I do have live streams every single day except Saturday. Which means tomorrow, same time, same place, I'll have another video. But Jeff, Ken, Ski Man, and all you guys, hope you all have a great day. Yeah, I think I caught up on everything on chat. Yeah, I can't even smell the smell of pipes. I don't like the smell of that. I was just reading your comment to Jeff there. Ski man that you never smoked a pipe, but you enjoyed the smell. I can't smell. I don't like the smell of pipes. I never really have since I was a kid. But anyhow, I'm gonna shut my pie hole. I'm gonna go find something else to do. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, you all have a good one. I'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.